Unexpected Journey, Memoir of a Siberian Deportee by Juzė Avižienytė-Žukauskiene. Translated from Lithuanian and narrated by Giedrė Kumpikas, niece of the author, and by Isabelle Kumpikas, the sister of the author. Chapter 71, 1947. From the liberated European countries began arriving by boat not only tractors, machines, electrical instruments, and installations, but also shoes and some fabrics. To our store they already brought baked bread, no longer just flour, and oil, sometimes even candy. I immediately hurried to acquire a pair of boots and a scarf. By the way, the boots happened to be Czechoslovakian. We started raising rabbits, chickens, a pig. Our garden was fully planted. In the spring, Stasukas planted a hedge around our little house. He planted densely black and red currants, and in the second row mountain ash and grain. Everything sprouted beautifully and was green. In the middle of that garden, he made a table. We planted asters and rue, which we had gotten from Lithuania. Our hearts were glad to look at those flowers and that greenery. It was heartwarming to breathe in their scent, but also sad. Those flowers reminded us of our homeland, so dear and so close to us, yet so far away and unreachable. The new teacher brought a trophy camera. He constantly went to our garden to have his picture taken. Of course, we also did not miss the chance to immortalize ourselves in this land of Siberia, and he took some pictures of us. One evening, I am busy in the potato patch. Glancing at the road, I noticed 3 men. They turned off the road onto the path leading to our house and hurried their steps. A militiaman and 2 civilians. I became a little nervous. That uniform never meant anything good. I looked a little more attentively. Lord, one of the civilians is my husband. I run to meet him. Maybe he's only being brought past. But no, he's turning into the gate. I ran closer. The militiaman raised his hand a little in warning, but not angrily. He says with a smile, "You weren't expecting him. Only please go quickly into your house." They all came into the little house. I was completely overcome. Was it real or a dream? I started to greet my husband. I kissed his lips and his eyes. They were wet like mine. He held and kissed my hands, and only after an hour did we begin to talk. "Are you back for good, Ludale? Why do you have an escort?" "This man has been released under the supervision of the militia. He's from Veronica, and I am being brought to court." "You'd better speak Russian so that he would understand also," said the militiaman with a smile and not sternly. "This man and I will leave soon, and you'll be able to talk all you want. We'll sleep now. Only see that you don't show yourselves to anyone. Don't invite anybody. I'll go look around who's in your store." He took off his packet with documents, put it on the shelf, and hung his belt with his revolver above the door on a nail. "Watch these things," he said, leaving with the other man. My husband remained. What a militiaman, what a fighter, such trust. If the superiors found out, he himself would wind up in jail. How different people are from each other, even officials. "Zutuna, prepare something better. We have to welcome my escort." I ran to the store, bought some vodka. Without it, it wouldn't be a reception. I whispered a word to Stasukas. When I came home, I found a chicken with its head cut off. I quickly prepared it and cooked it. I made a good sauce, mashed potatoes, and we had a ball. The militiaman, having gone out, stretched out on the grass in the garden and only came in when I invited him to supper. Even though I was very fearful, I pulled out my husband's dossier from the packet and I managed to read quite a lot. During the time of the interrogation, the testimony of witnesses, among which 2 were Lithuanians, Šičkus and Lazauskienė, I was surprised by Dr. Šakėnienė's assurance that Žukauskas Liudas is healthy and is able to march to the holding place for interrogation. I knew that he was, at that time, very weak and had not yet recovered from his beating. I only found out later, after having talked it out with Zukauskiene, that the security had called her and without any ceremony told her to sign a prepared writ. I also learned that after that last beating into unconsciousness, Dr. Luda Vesyolova had been summoned. Later, in preparing the march, she was summoned again to sign the documents about the condition of his health. She absolutely refused to sign the spravka for Žukauskas for the march, too weak for the journey. It was different for her. She was a komsomolka. Her father was a high official in Tomsk. She had a strong backing. Besides, a physician's ethic does not allow her to sign that a person is well when he can barely move. No one could force her. It was another situation for Zukauskiene. She was a deportee, did not have the courage to disobey. She did not know what the consequences would be. Besides, she had 2 underage children, and for that reason she signed. My husband and his escort slept in our house. In the morning, having had a rather late breakfast, they went off to Parby. Shortly thereafter, the trial took place. After that, I did not see my husband for almost 10 years. He returned only after Stalin's death in 1956. And only then did I learn many details of the interrogation and the trial process. I learned about the life in the camp and how he survived, while men who had been as strong as oak trees did not return. After a while, I went to Parby. I was walking past the commandant's office when I was stopped and asked to come into the militia bureau. The militia, the security, and the commandant's office were in the same building. I went in to the office. There sat the militia chief, the commandant, and one of the more loathsome militiamen, Karabeinikov. "Did your husband stop by at your house at Melstroy?" asked the militia chief. "Yes, he did." "How long did he stay at your place?" "He came towards evening and left the morning of the following day. I cannot tell you how many hours, since I do not have a watch." "When he came to you, you know more precisely," I answered quite calmly. "He lived at your place for 3 days," shouted the loathsome militiaman. I glanced at him mockingly and quite cold-bloodedly said, "Your information agency is worthless. My husband lived at my place a whole week, while you only have information about 3 days. The Commandant Romashov smiled a little, and the militiaman became confused. The militia chief cut in. "After all, really." "I already said so. Besides, I believe you have received the cover letter of the convoy. Look for exact information in it," I answered rather gruffly. "You should have informed us." "Nonsense. To leave my husband, whom I had not seen for a whole year, and his escort, run 8 kilometers on a muddy road to let you know or ask for a permit? What do you think? Or maybe you would have sent a carriage?" I retorted very angrily. "That's enough. We know everything." "I already see from Karabeinikov's report how you know everything. Get out." "With the greatest pleasure." I turned around and left. What a baba, I heard Karabeinikov's voice. That no one in Melstroy knew of the visit, I already ascertained that same day, after I saw my guests off. To reach the little path overgrown with bushes, they only had to pass 2 chatas. They left at a time when everyone was already at work. About a half hour after they had left, Yosuka's school friend, Seryoja, came running up out of breath and said, "Auntie, run quickly to Parby. I met your old man on the road, and he was being led. Maybe you'll see each other." "Thank you, Seryoja. I'm going right away." Notes: Spravka, investigation. Baba, a pejorative term meaning a tough, aggressive, insolent woman.